Hi everyone, MR Assassin here, and I am back with some more cooking companions. Alright. Wake up! Wake up. Sorry you're making strange noises in your sleep. What's going on, Gregor? Did the lightning wake you up? It woke me up. I tried to fall back asleep, but it's so loud. Ugh. Let's just get back to sleep and talk about this in the morning. Everyone nods in agreement and gets back to bed. Except for you. You can't fall back asleep. You still have goosebumps from the nightmare. Garen's snoring is louder than a sawmill. You find it very loud and very distracting. You don't sleep a wink. Everyone is now up and awake in the cabin. You hear the front door open and quickly slam shut. Anatoly sounds petrified. I looked out the door and we're completely surrounded by floodwaters. Looks like sailors take warning was more appropriate for today. Maybe it'll clear up tomorrow. You can't steal big guy's optimism, Karen. Why the hell not? That's all he has going for him. Ick. He's also good at chopping wood, though. Ha ha ha. Knock it off, you two. Mariah, do you think it'll clear up tomorrow? I give it a 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow. Based on what? I was bored stiff, so I read a book on local precipitation levels for the last 20 years in the living room. Wow. Sounds like you're stealing Anatoly's thunder. Anatoly, you're a book nerd, right? Why didn't you read it? Ick. Couldn't make it past the cover. Is that right? Yes. That bookshelf has some great books on artisan crafting and natural sciences. Why let them sit there gathering dust? How did you arrive at a 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow? It's easy. Take the time of year, multiply it by a factor of... Mariah begins to explain meteorology to you. She isn't dumbing any of this down. It's similar to... where? So the first thing you need to understand... Minutes of explanation feel like hours. You look over at Anatoly. He's listening intently to Mariah. So intently, he hasn't blinked yet. You can see his eyes drying up. A tear rolls down one of his cheeks. This is brutal to watch. Mariah finally wraps up her lecture. She ends with a bow. Nobody claps. Tough crowd. Mariah, that was awe-inspiring. You lost me a few minutes in, but it's okay. I didn't understand a word of it, haha. Anatoly turns to you. Anyway, there's no telling how long this will last. We can't leave the cabin until these floodwaters stop. I know our food situation is a little tight, but I know you'll make the right decisions. I believe in you. Me too. It looks like we have enough leftover berries for more bread and raspberry jam. I'll pass on the jam, but give me more crusty bread. Everyone laughs, except for you. With everyone stranded in the cabin, you need to keep everyone fed and happy. You sneak out to the kitchen while everyone's still talking. Ooh. Get out some crusty bread and get to work making some more jam. With the kitchen to yourself, you decide to check in on the chompettes. Cabbage!
Hello!
Oh. Hello! Don't worry, as leaders of the chompettes, I'll make sure none of the humans know about us.
Onion!
Onion? That big guy would try eating me like an apple, so definitely don't tell them about us. Potato. Ha ha ha. Are your plans going awry? Ha ha ha. Got another cornbread classic for you. Did you hear about the bread maker's bakery burning down? No. Her business is now toast. Ha ha ha. That one's been done to death. Do you know how raspberry and milk were introduced? You tell her no.
Raspberry!
Raspberry milkshake. He let out an audible groan. Ah, ah, ah. Did Cornbread teach you that one? Nope. Wasted an entire day thinking about that terrible pun. Ha ha ha. It's well worth the time and effort, Raspberry. Maybe you'll win the annual trumpet comedy competition this year.
Raspberry!
Of course.
Onion!
Not while I'm here. I won't choke on stage this year. Isn't that every year, Bread? We still talk about that closing line, Bread. You're gonna do great this year. Anyways, don't even think of eating us if you're hungry. Oh, blee blee blee. Chumpettes stick together through thick and thin.
Raspberry!
Rain or shine. Feast and famine. Potato. Potato, I swear to God, repeat that line, or we're locking you up again. Life or death. That's right. Chumpettes! Move out! Strange. The Chompettes somehow managed to close the drawer on themselves. You bring the crusty bread and jam into the living room. Hello, I got the bread. Kareen interrupts as you bring in the food. Took you long enough. I was talking with cabbage and an onion. Karen looks at the 2 slices of bread left and the mason jar of raspberry jam. There's mold on these last 2 slices of bread. Those are for you. Num num. Karen is right. What the hell is the matter with you? You grip the knife tightly in your hand. You think this is enough for 5 of us? Wait, we can't throw this bread away. It's all we have left. Gregor's right. Anatoly, will mold spores give us food poisoning? I'm no scientist. Sorry. Let's pick off as much mold as we can. We can't leave at the floodwaters, so this will have to last us another day. Everyone grimly nods, ripping apart their piece like a pack of wolves. Gregor seems to unhinge his jaw and eat it in one bite. He looks like a duck eating bread. Thanks again. Bread and jam isn't much of a meal, but it's more than we had when we left Ukraine. Plenty of rainwater outside, so at least we won't die of dehydration. But until this storm is over, nobody should leave the cabin. It should clear up if we just give it a chance. Anatoly, where are you getting that information from? Well, one of the books on the bookshelf about the climate here. You illiterate. Oh, you're illiterate, so that's definitely a lie. Eck. I've seen him reading. Little guy's been studying. I'm serious, he pretends to read those books because he wants us to think that he's smart, but I can tell he's just staring at the page, faking it. What do you think? Doesn't know his weather conditions from a hole in the ground? Karin is correct. Anatoly can read. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Yeah. I'll defend Anatoly. You must be going blind then. Yeah. Thanks. I don't know why Karen would make something up like that about me. You aren't fooling anyone, Anatoly. Jeez. Thanks for backing me up. Good to have someone so positive around. Anatoly looks relieved. You think he'll remember that. I guess let's call it a day. Yeah, sure. Everyone shuffles off to their sleeping areas. 10 minutes later. Hey, Karen likes to find somebody's weakness and use it against them when she's frustrated. Just wanted to thank you for backing me up earlier. You're very sweet to do that. Anatoly looks at you with a look of admiration. Heh, see you tomorrow. I mean, he's a smart dude. So, why would he not be able to read? Anatoly looks like he's blushing as he walks away. You're definitely sure Anatoly will remember that. You get ready for bed and put a blanket on. A short day. You go to bed very hungry. Ooh, day 4. What's gonna happen? I don't dream the entire night, but you sleep through everyone waking up. And that's how fast a deer could run if startled. Whoa. Incredible. Impressive. I wish we had a deer here. With the food getting lower, let's just skip today's meal. No. It's only for one day. Various cultures and religions have practiced fasting throughout history. That doesn't make us feel any better, Anatoly. What options do we have? Our food wasn't rationed properly. You're gonna blame me? Anatoly leaves, mumbling to himself. So passive-aggressive of him. Well, we do have cabbage and an onion and some bread. Everyone goes to a separate area. Karina in the bedroom, Gregor in the living room, Raya in the kitchen, and Anatoly in the bathroom. Who do you want to speak to? Raya, Anatoly, Gregor's pretty cool. But fuck Karen. I'm gonna go with Mariah. Yeah. Oh. Didn't hear you coming, haha. I was just double checking if there was any food we might have missed. But I couldn't get the drawer open. Could you give it a try? While you go do that, I'm gonna get some more reading done. I help with the drawer. Oh, 3 hearts. I give the drawer a hard yank open. And it's the trompettes.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Is the thunderstorm keeping you up at night? You just need to roll with it. Raspberry whispers so quietly you lean over to listen to her. We need to talk soon. Please listen to me when the time comes. Anyways,
Raspberry.
please don't let the others see us.
Cabbage.
That's right, Raspberry. Part of being a chompette is secrecy. Wouldn't want those humans to overhear our meetings, now would we? Good. Chompettes, roll on out. You shut the drawer. Everyone looks pretty down this evening. Wish the rain would just stop. You're all doing great. We must be almost to the end of this nightmare. I'm so hungry. Me too. You are too. You wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. Ooh, my tummy. Go to bed with a growling stomach. What's gonna happen? Wake up. I said, wake up! Got a raspberry on my face. Oh, hi. The rainfall is non-stop again. Did you have anything to do with this? You don't answer her question. Always thinking with your stomach, right? You should reconsider. Might save what little humanity you have left. At least I tried. I won't have a guilty conscience by the end of this. Go back to sleep, monster. Monster? What the heck? You easily forget about Raspberry's conversation. You have a strange dream. A boy is yelling at you in the kitchen. You keep telling him to lie down on the tray, but he keeps shaking his head, calling you names. So you do it. You lie down on the tray and make your body as flat as a board. You show him how it's done. His anger turns to courage, and he pushes you into the oven. As the stench of burning hair fills your lungs, you see him sneering back at you. You wake in a cold sweat. Oh. That kind of looked like the person looking at me through the oven. Everyone seems to be sleeping in later than normal. Their stomachs must have kept them awake all night. The rain is still pouring outside. Well, geez. Seems like we're gonna run out of food. Can barely make out the trees from the windows. You hear a stirring of blankets, arms and legs. Mariah looks petrified. I couldn't sleep. Anatoly has bags under his eyes. The storm is too loud. Karen looks out of it. Karin. The cabin was creaking so much last night. It sounded alive. Gregor looks a little gaunt. I got a good look out at the window. And? Couldn't see anything due to the rain. Great observation, Gregor. I was so hungry last night, I kept pacing around my bed. Karen turns to you. Karin. Karin. When is this going to end? I checked outside the door again. Flood waters keep rising. Unfortunately, we're going to need to stay put, unless one of us wants to drown in rainwater. As soon as the weather lets up, we'll be able to scavenge for supplies. How close is the nearest town? I don't know. Didn't you have a map on you? I think I dropped it while we were running after Gregor. I'm sure it'll show up eventually. If it's flooding, I think it got washed away or something. If it was like dropped outside or whatever. If it's in the cabin, it might be fine. Mariah and Anatoly go white as a sheet. How are we going to find our way back now? We'll have to ride out the storm. Mariah looks at you. We're down to our last slice of bread. Moldy bread. I don't know how much longer we can put off eating. The group stares at you. It will clear up in no time. Maybe you're right. The group looks worried. They all gravitate to an area. You can tell Gregor's putting on a fake optimism, and Mariah's having trouble. Which one do you want to speak with today? Oh, Gregor or Mariah? Should I just max out Mariah? Because I feel like that'll benefit. It'll give me a heart with her, and we're starving. Mariah. Brr. It's cold as hell over here. I'm surprised Gregor isn't freezing to death that night. How does he do it? You explained to Mariah how the size of a person and fat content determine how warm they are naturally. Gah! Wish I was as big as Gregor. But to be honest, I don't need to be that tall to make a difference in the world. Do you know what he wanted to do for a career? Mariah does her best Gregor impression. Split firewood and gaze at the stars. How boring is that? Depends on the person, but pretty boring. You're so funny. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me. Mariah blushes a little. You make it easier to pass the time. Thank you. Pretty sure Mariah will remember that. Ooh, almost max. You thank her and leave the bedroom. I call everyone together. They all look grim. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Everyone is staring at you. They're expecting that last piece of bread for dinner. You bring it out. Everyone cannot take their eyes off of it. You instruct everyone to take a pinch. And slowly all 5 of you tear it apart with like a wishbone. Everyone studies their piece of bread carefully, wondering how long it will last. Karin is the first to eat hers. She chews each bite a few hundred times before swallowing. Anatoly chews it cautiously, opening his mouth once he finishes each bite. Brian nibbles on it silently, eyes wide, moving from person to person. And Gregor just pops it in his mouth like a cherry. Gulp. It was gone in an instant. And that was the last of our food. The group thanks you awkwardly. It's not much, but you've run out of options. You wish everyone good night and get ready for bed. You go to bed starving. Day 6. Oh man, I don't hear any rain. Oh, never mind. Good morning. Morning. Let me check if the rain has stopped. Doesn't sound like it. It's still flooding. What are we going to do? Humans can live about 2 to 3 weeks without food. Water isn't a concern. Rainfall should end in a day or two, right? Actually, precipitation can occur more than 215 days a year here. Holy crap. But do you really think it will rain that long? Anatoly, it's been days already. What makes you think it will stop soon? Eck.
Relax, everyone. Let's see how long we can ride this out. Fingers crossed it's done by tomorrow.
Panic is slowly creeping in. Everyone's looking scared, but you need to survive. Oh man. You want to speak with Mariah or Anatoly in the living room? Well, max out Mariah. Think about everything you've done wrong and how you've doomed everyone. Jeez. I don't even have to talk to anyone. I could just be like doom and gloom. I'm gonna max out Mariah. It just feels like the right thing to do in this situation. Hey. Mariah looks relieved to see you. And that's it. Max. How are you holding up? How are you holding up? Not very good. That's very sweet of you to ask. Mariah's looking at you intently. She gets a little closer to you. I noticed you didn't use any meat when cooking. Yeah, because you're vegetarian. Usually I have to pick out the foods the others make. But you respected that. Thank you. Mariah's looking at you with admiration. It's not like we had any meat to choose from anyways. Need to speak with Gregor for a minute. Thanks again. You're definitely sure Mariah will remember that. Well, I'm not... What's this? You decide to check out the drawer again. Trompettes? It's only potato. Yes, potato where the others are.
They'll be back.
They wanted to explore the labyrinth of tunnels around the cabin. Surely you've seen the mouse holes, right? They connect all over the cabin. Must have been some mouse that created them or something worse. Anyways, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Things are going to get worse from here on out. You have a feeling Potato is telling the truth. You realize some drool is leaking out from your mouth. Disgusting. Don't even try to eat me. You just get deathly sick if you tried. From the look of you, you need to retain all the water you can. From rationing to cooking, you failed every common sense measure for basic survival this week. You knew something like this would happen, right? Never mind. With floodwaters rising and no food now, I think it'd be a great time to go over the fundamentals of starvation with you. When experiencing starvation, there are 4 factors that will determine if you live or die. Age, height, weight, and your degree of activity or inactivity. You've been especially lazy, so I think you'll survive a little longer than the others. The Harris-Benedict equation can help you figure out how many calories you need to simply maintain your current weight. The equation produces a number called the basal metabolic rate, BMR. Stay with me here. BMR equals 655 plus 4.35 times the weight in pounds plus 4.7 in the height of inches minus 4.7 times the age in years. Got it? For fun, let's try it out on someone here. Mariah. Using Harris-Benedict, She looks like she's 120 pounds, about 5 feet, 5 inches tall, about 20 years old. Crunching the numbers, I think she'd need about 1,388 calories daily. But that's being abnormally stationary. She'd have to lay in bed all day and night, just eating, breathing, and using her brain. Not very common when you're starving to death. People tend to get up more. If she was being very active, let's say swimming through floodwaters, we'd need to multiply that by 1.9. So now she needs 2,638 calories per day. This is extremely detailed. It's quite the difference, especially if you didn't ration the food properly, which you didn't. I guess that wraps up our first survival lesson. Hopefully we'll never have to speak again. Okay, you shut the drawer, going over the numbers again. Oh man. I don't think any of us can take this much longer. Gregor's voice starts to crack. I don't want to ask this, but it's time. One of us needs to go outside and search for food. Everyone is silent. I'll go. But Mariah, I used to swim all the time near my house. She's going to need more calories, so I'll probably have the best chance of swimming through the floodwaters. No, let me go instead.
You won't get very far if anything happens to your glasses, Anatoly.
You're blind as a mole rat, remember? That's true, but...
Little guy, let me go.
Gregor, sounds good to me. Karin. His arms are definitely the longest, so he'd probably the best at climbing trees out of all of us. No, that wouldn't be right, Gregor. Let me go instead.
I get that none of these options are good ones, but we need to find food or help.
Gregor grabs a branch from the woodpile. He cuts it into different measurements. Since we can't come to a consensus, let's draw for it. We'll each pick one from my hand.
And the shortest will go outside to search for food.
You're not worried about drawing. You saw Gregor cut the branch lengths, so you can tell which is the biggest one of the bunch. You pick it. You watch the others intently. Will it be Gregor? Anatoly? Karin? Will it be Mariah? Looks like I got the shortest. Mariah. It's okay. Uh-oh. Is she gonna die? I watched Anatoly forage earlier, so I'll know what to look out for. Just swim until you find higher ground, then scout the area. Maybe you'll find a fish out there. Everyone looks heartbroken. Karin, Anatoly, and Gregor. I'll keep us alive. I promise. She promised. Everyone watches as Mariah leaves the cabin. The silence is deafening. Goodbye. This music. She's gonna die. Oh no. The door shuts behind her. You can faintly hear her yell about how cold the water is. And then silence. Mariah has left the cabin. I'm sure we'll see her again. The rest of the group nods. Everyone stays up waiting and waiting. The sun has completely set. One by one, each person quietly shuffles off to bed. Dead to me. Uh-oh. You get ready for bed and easily pass out. You have a strange dream. The two women in front of you could be twins. One of them you recognize, the other as a guest. You ask the guest to sit on a shovel, and then you try pushing it into the oven. Her legs are so strong, you can't get her into the oven. You curse at her repeatedly. Like this, you hiss. You stretch out your legs until your toes are almost sticking into the coals. You feel 4 hands on your shoulders, and both of them push you in. The familiar smell of smoke and burning hair cause you to throw up on the embers. You can't let it end like this. You rip the metal door off the oven, tearing through the wood logs of the cabin. Screaming, you chase the two through the woods. Your burns chill with the wind. The guest looks behind her, and her eyes widen when she sees you. She's terrified. Your fury rips trees out by their roots, soil from the ground, rocks from their pits. You've never been this angry in your entire life. Their stamina can't last forever. You're gaining on them. As you trample through the field of wheat, the guest throws a piece of cloth behind her. You catch the glint of it in the sun, golden. As if by magic, the earth splits in front of you, creating a chasm of fire below. You fall into the pit, screaming as your eyes begin to sizzle from the heat. Hellfire fills your lungs. You're unable to scream anymore. You wake in a cold sweat. What was that? Was that the hellfire chasm? Damn. Anatoly's crying.
Good morning.
Do you think she made it to higher ground? I believe in Mariah. Me too.
She'll be fine. Right, little guy?
So what do we do now? Just wait? Karin. How long? It's been almost a day since she left. Anatoly and Gregor look nervous. Someone needs to look for her. We need to wait, Karin. Wait for what? The nearest town is miles and miles away. Waiting is all we can do for now. So it could be days before she gets back. What are we supposed to eat? Mice? Karin. I'm sure Anatoly will agree, but
We'll discuss next options when we get to it. Every waking thought is about food now. I never should have eaten that much.
I'm... Karin's hands are involuntarily shaking. Gregor and Anatoly just nod in agreement. They don't even need her to elaborate. You're sure Mariah will make it back? She promised. Everyone retreats to their areas. What do you want to do today? Speak with Anatoly in the kitchen, speak with Karen, speak with Gregor in the living room. Gregor? Gregor's like next best boy. He's knitting? Okay, so it looks like this game is about an hour and a half to play through, because it's the full game and not the appetizer or whatever. So I'm going to leave it here, and we'll have the finale on the next episode. So this is getting pretty dark. It's pretty intense. But, like, no deaths yet, so that's good. Well, at least so far, it seems like. I don't know about Mariah. Hopefully she's okay. Hopefully she can make it back, because I maxed my hearts for her. It was almost, like, intentional that they had her be the one to go out for looking for food. But yeah, we'll see. Next episode, we'll finish it up. Alright. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Moi moi.